Welcome back to RSEA Park for the second match of a double-header here today with the Eastern Rangers taking on the Oakleigh Chargers. Another side, Rick, Oakleigh, that is littered with talent once again. They had an impressive draft haul in 2018, 11 players drafted all up, and looks like they'll get some sort of result similar to that this season.
Yeah, they've been a fantastic club over the years, and you've only got to walk into their little office there down at Oakleigh and have a look at some of the league players, or AFL players that they've produced over the years. Now they've got some talent, as we can remember from last year as well, through players like Noah Anderson, who's a real standout. And father-son, trying to think of his dad that played at Hawthorn. Anderson anyway, and
Dean Anderson.
Dean Anderson, and Joe Aiton Delaney as well. Aiton Delaney showed a lot of promise last year.
Just while the Eastern Rangers side's up on the screen with us, they've not got as many players over the last couple of years. Jamison Rossiter is a player that's on the AFL Academy list in 2019, number 13 for them, and one of their better draft potential.
Yes, no doubt about that. And they've been, they've produced some great players over the years, the Eastern Rangers, and been competitive in final series. So, we're just a bit unsure about how they'll go today. Cody Hurst is a player that comes to mind, again, that we saw plenty of last year. And, they're going to be, and there's always a Clark comes out of the Eastern Rangers, isn't there, with Joshua being the new Clark on the board.
Certainly is. As we flick across to the Oakleigh Chargers, Joseph Aiton Delaney returns to the Chargers as a 19-year-old, has played Vic Metro, played 20 games across his under-18 career so far. An exciting prospect for them.
Yeah, he'll be one that we'd expect to get a fair bit of the ball, and you'll get a fair bit of, like we mentioned with Noah Anderson, run and carry, and may even go forward on occasion as well. So they always produce talent right throughout that list down there at Oakleigh.
Just mentioned number 25, Jamari Ugle-Hagan. We saw him briefly for the GWV Rebels at the end of last season. He's boarding with Scotch College, so now joins the Oakleigh Chargers. We're about to get this second game underway. Matthew Cox and Rick Morris in commentary with you.
Now, Easton with the little hand out the back, and Zalak will drive it forward down towards the goal. Some action early, and it just rolls out of bounds beside the behind post.
Once again, we must thank our partners here of the NAB League, NAB naming rights and principal partner, Open Universities Australia, our education partner, Telstra, our digital partner, Puma, our apparel partner, Rookie Me, and the Bar Counter. We thank them for their support of the NAB League in 2019.
Now we've got the Chargers to work it clear down towards half-back, intercepted nicely by Zalak, who's had a couple of pieces of the play so far, and out of bounds on the full it goes. It'll be taken this time by Bianco, who's the captain of the Chargers, Trent Bianco. And he'll work it towards half-back. Well, they found a bit of trouble here, and good tackling by the Rangers. And he's just letting him know about it as well.
Saying Happy New Year, welcome to the new season.
He's saying, I did nothing. That was Billy McCormack. And he'll take a shot on goal. So Billy comes in from about 45 out.
Good rapport, Billy McCormack. Hasn't missed a session over summer, apparently, for the Eastern Rangers, and is also the son of Brendan McCormack, who played 44 games for Fitzroy and 12 for Brisbane. And
Billy comes in, and he's hit that nicely, straight through the middle. Love the draw on that. And it went through the middle for the first goal of the game. And Billy McCormack gets on the board. 1 goal straight to no score. So they pumped it forward a couple of times there. Already had most of the play, the Eastern Rangers, so far.
Played 17 games in the under-18 competition last year. Had an average of 9 disposals and 7 hit-outs with the Eastern Rangers. Just waiting for the umpire to check the 6-6-6 rule is enforced. Rangers again will look to clear. Stapleton gave the handball off to Figamali, who goes towards half forward. Bouncing ball. Chargers under a bit of pressure in the opening stages of this first quarter. Should get a stoppage here, and we will. Emerging from the pack there, Matty Rowell, earmarked as a high draft pick this year. Won the best on ground in the 2018 Grand Final in the losing side for the Oakleigh Chargers, who go forward. Ball off hands. Hurahan clears it for the Eastern Rangers. Bouncing ball out wide. Cody Hurst chasing after it. Keeps the ball in front of himself. And then scored. The umpire says, give it to me.
Yeah, he was fantastic all year last year, Matthew Rowell, and was a clear best on ground in the final, even with the losing team. And such was his dominance throughout that game. He was a brilliant runner.
Was also best of field in the under-17 All-Stars curtain raiser game before the AFL Grand Final as well. So had a brilliant purple patch towards the end of last year, Matty Rowell.
So Oakleigh just trying to work it out of congestion. Over the top, there's Rowell, the man in question. And the ball gets grubbed down towards centre half forward, but he missed that, Ugelhagen. And we'll have a free kick over the shoulder. And it'll be taken by James Blank. Now they're trying to get the switch, but he didn't quite hear it. And out in front, nice pick up, but ran out of bounds there, ran out of room there in goal. Out of bounds.
Shown a lot of intent early, the Eastern Rangers. 4 minutes into this term, I think they've had the better of it.
Tap down to the front, beautiful work out to Anderson. And Anderson gives it to Fraser Elliott. Back over the top. We've got a run and carry here. And ran a bit too far, but gets it back through the middle and nails it. And that is definitely an Open University Player of the Week by Noah Anderson. And through for a goal. That was terrific play. Followed up his work nicely. Got into trouble, got out of trouble, and then slammed home the winner.
Played 10 games, kicking 13 goals last year in the under-18 comp. Noah Anderson, another player that's on an AFL Academy list in 2019. The son of Dean Anderson, as we mentioned earlier, played for Hawthorn and spent some time at St Kilda. And as you mentioned, Rick, that will be definitely a contender for the Open Universities Australia Plays of the Week. Kickstart your education goals by visiting open.edu.au.
Yeah, they pulled him up there because the player was coming off the interchange and wasn't set up in the 6-6-6. So they'll work it out of there again, Eastern, and burst it forward. No clear possessions. Just waiting on it. Oh, a bit of a head clash, friendly fire there. And we might keep an eye on that player there, Siobhan.
He's in a bit of distress.
Getting up was Stapleton, Lockie Stapleton.
Looks a bit groggy, trying to shake off the trainer. And he's involved here too, and good tackle from Lockie Stapleton, rebounding after...
We love seeing that stuff, don't we, Matty?
It does. Just goes to show the drive of a player as well. After receiving a knock, wanting to get up and make an impact on the game. Black caught, dispossessed, ball over the boundary line and out of play. He's back on his feet, Lockie Stapleton, which is positive to see. 177 centimetres, 72 kilos. Number 7 for the Eastern Rangers. Ball's tossed back into play. Chargers flick it out, looking for Elliott. Overran it. And now with an opportunity is Pretty towards half forward. Phillips caught, dispossessed. Rangers working it well across half forward, trying to get it into the hands. They're all standing around the footy, and the umpire says, give it to me, ball it up, as Stapleton looks like he has now come from the ground, so feeling some after effects from that collision a minute or so ago.
So we've got the clearance out towards outer wing. We've got two players within about 50 metres, and he did that nicely. Good movement there by Schreiber. And they'll work it down towards half forward. Oh, big clash over the top it goes. Back to ground. Easton should be able to clear. Got numbers through Hart. He'll go wider. Over the top. Good work that time through Ross, the captain. Gets it. There's a good pressure there from the Chargers there. Just holding them up. Ross lost it. Good aggression. They'll go backwards here to go forwards, and they will. They've got some run and carry here. Nice work through Jenkins. Gets it inside 50. Brought to ground. Umpire's letting it go. Another tackle on that 50 metres, and sharked away by Jenkins. Well, that time it was Gilby. Gets it forward. Outer side. They've got a runner out in the open. It's Cody Hurst. He'll get on the left, spear it down towards the pocket, and they couldn't keep it in. The target was Hickleton, and out of bounds. It goes about 30 metres around from the goals. Easton attacking.
A reminder to follow the NAB League across social media on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Just search for @NAB League. And for the boys competition, use the hashtag #NABLeagueBoys. And a reminder to check out the Instagram story to go behind the scenes of today's coverage here at RSEA Park as the Eastern Rangers reset high ball towards half forward. A good grab taken out there by Rossiter. Highly fancied. Potential draft pick for the Eastern Rangers in 2019, is on the AFL Academy list. Only played 2 games in 2018 due to some foot injuries. As he prepares himself to come in. Kick on its way. Beautiful looking drop punt. And he's pretty happy about it. Jamison Rossiter kicks his first. And the Eastern Rangers have started this game very well, Rick. Not what I was anticipating. I thought the Oakleigh Chargers might have come out of the blocks, but it's gone the other way around. Yeah, well, it is round one, and you can see some nervous plays out there with some fumbling like we saw in the first game early. But the endeavour's been terrific from the Rangers, so you'd expect the Chargers just to try and settle soon. But yeah, Noah Anderson's trying to give them that drive at the moment, but they just need to work together a bit more. And this is a little different to the round one encounter with these two sides last year, where we were down at Skybus Stadium, nearly needed a snorkel to get out of there. That was amazing, wasn't it? Horrible day down there. Probably the heaviest we've seen a ground water-wise. It was just flooded. Chargers winning by 50 points back in round one last year, so these two sides again playing in round one this year. So they'll chip it forward, and nice mark that time by Noah Dempsey. Not short of Noah's. They get it down towards the pocket. We'll have a little sneaky shot on goal, but a difficult kick from that angle. But nice attempt by Graham. So the Chargers looking to bring it out of the defensive side with a nice kick down towards half back. It'll be taken away this time through Tucker. Gives it over to Gulini. Inside 50, the ball slapped down. You could hear it in the mic. And we'll have a ball up 45 out from goal. Oakleigh attacking. Oakleigh are another club that have a new talent manager in 2019. Jai Bond moving across from the Western Jets, replacing Craig Notman, who's headed down to Tassie in 2019.
And he'll be a great addition for Tasmania, Craig.
Certainly will. He was always gracious with his time with us when he was at the Chargers. Always providing great insight. No doubt when we catch up with him throughout the year, we'll hear that insight from the new side down in Tassie. Jai Bond taking the reins. Lee Clark coaching for his 3rd season of the Oakleigh Chargers. As you flick across to the Eastern Rangers, who have possession of the footy, Sean Tui starts his 2nd season as talent manager at the Eastern Rangers. And Darren Buick entering his 10th season as coach. Good Essendon player.
Yes, we won't hold that against him, but yeah, he's been great for Eastern, Darren Buick, and yeah, we haven't seen too many coaches last that sort of distance. And now they'll drive it forward, and a nice mark down there by Oakleigh. Jamara is his first name. 194 centimetres, slight build, 79 kgs. And this was the boy from Greater Western Rebels.
Yes, played 3 games in the back half of last year for the Rebels. And it's crossed across to the Oakleigh Chargers. He's at Scotch College this year, so he's boarding down here and just puts that one to the left-hand side. Also on the AFL Academy Level 1 list for 17-year-olds, so an exciting prospect. Jamara Oakleigh, originally from South Warrnambool.
That's Jonathan Brown territory, isn't it?
It is. Down that region. It's the Eastern Rangers in the back pocket. High, long ball, trying to get a fist there. It was Guinea for the Oakleigh Chargers and did fairly well to get the kick away. Mark taken here by Thomas Graham. Stabs it short and hits up Noah Anderson. Wheels around on the right boot. High ball going to land at the top of the goal square. Rangers front spot, couldn't take a mark. They're now under siege, but have numbers to escape. Gilby was one of them. Flicks the ball wide. Got plenty of numbers, but weren't clean. Aiton Delaney now with the ball in his hands. He's caught by Black. The umpire says, give it to me, I will ball it up.
So they're about 35 out from goal. Big leap at that time through Nick Bryan. And works along the boundary line, out of bounds. We've got the throw in.
Beautiful day here at RSEA Park. Hot, little humid too.
Good day for spectators to get out and watch the best under-18s in the country. Over the back it goes, trying to clear this time, and they will. This time through Downey, down towards the Eastern Rangers forward line, but it was well trapped and booted further afield. Into the race was May. The umpire pulled him up. Out of bounds it was.
So boundary throw in on the centre wing, outer side of RSEA Park. And spectators enjoying the sunshine. There's an umbrella over there too, trying to seek some shade on that outer wing. Ball knocked down in favour of the Chargers. Just losing it there was Anderson. Rangers did well. Brown there, seeing off the bump. The kick to half forward, not fantastic. Bianco, the captain, sends it towards half forward. Oakleigh coming out to greet it. He's unable to get his hands on it, and the Rangers will again rebound off half back. Towards the centre wing, Aiton Delaney mopping up for the Chargers. 19-year-old goes very short to Noah Anderson. Had support in Bianco again, who goes towards Oakleigh. Plays on. Left foot kick just curled too tight.
Probably too far out for the banana there.
Minor score.
So they'll put it back into play here, Eastern. You can feel the Chargers have upped the tempo in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Your long kick to half-back. Chargers with 2 against 1 there. And they should be able to work it inside 50. Oh, the mark's built. Taken by the player there, Malice. Gets it inboard. And an intercept again. There's been quite a few of them already in this game. Winey gets it towards half forward. Chop of the arms. Play on's the call. Taken by May. And we'll have an intercept mark through Mitch Malice.
2018 club best and fairest for the Eastern Rangers, Mitch Malice.
He drives to a contest. Goes over the top. To be mopped up this time through Robertson. Gives it over the back. And there is Elliott. We've got an encroachment. So we've got a 50-metre penalty going the Chargers' way here. So the man to take the kick is Josh May, and he'll kick from 20 metres out directly in front. I'm going to scribble this one already in the book there, Matt.
Confident?
Backing him in from there. And he does straight through the middle. Had a bit of the footy already, the big man, Josh May.
Hails from Surrey Park, attends Box Hill High School. An exciting talent. Played Vic Metro in 2015-16 as an underager. Played 9 games last year in the under-18 competition, averaging 10 disposals, 2 hit-outs a game.
They've just found their feet a bit here, Oakleigh. They're starting to control the footy a bit more. So we'll see how they go in this centre bounce setup. Back in the middle. Brought to ground. Now it's out the back door, and Black takes it for Easton. Gets it towards half forward. Ball hits the deck. They get the numbers back, Oakleigh. And it might be a high tackle, was it? And it'll go the way of Tilley, Josh Tilley. So he's got a shot from about 35 metres.
Comes from, plays his local footy at Gembrook Cockatoo Footy Club.
You get cold up in the hills in the winter.
Very, very cold.
So Tilley, you can see plenty of the goals from there. He connects nicely and he puts it through for a well-executed kick from that pocket. And Tilley gets him on the board. So nice steadier there to Easton. We've got a close game in the first quarter.
Certainly do. Earlier today here at RSEA Park, it was the Sandringham Dragons convincing victors, 9-13, 127, defeating the Calder Cannons 112-18. And yesterday up in Ballarat at Mars Stadium, it was the Stingrays getting over the line against the GWV Rebels. Handball comes out for the Chargers, in the hands now of Anderson, who's had a lot of the footy in this opening quarter. Dylan Williams goes wide and out on the full. Not the greatest of kicks from the co-captain of the Oakleigh Chargers in 2019, along with Trent Bianco. James Blank goes backwards for the Eastern Rangers. Jared Gilby goes wide. Downey just possessing the footy at the moment, the Eastern Rangers. That one slipped through the fingers of Cody Hurst. Opportunity for the Rangers to reset. There's a whistle. And a free kick will go the way of the Eastern Rangers. Cody Hurst to take it defensive side of the outer wing.
So Hurst hugs the boundary, And now they'll thump it towards that 50. Over the back it goes. Calder, Oakleigh with numbers. They'll work it out the back. And it looks like Woodfull. Or he grubs that towards half back. Just allowed him in for the tackle. And they just couldn't get clear. That clean possession just changes that whole play. So big fella Woodfull, 199 centimetres.
89 kilos too. He's a big unit.
So the ball in at half forward for Eastern, and there's a bit of jostling and holding. And Woodfull gets it off straight away, and that ball goes over the line.
On the full, just hit his boot just before the line.
Bit unlucky there, Gilby.
And that is a name that has a link to the Western Bulldogs. He's the nephew of Lindsay Gilby.
Okay.
Played 206 games for the Doggies.
So here come Oakleigh trying to barge their way through, but good tackling. And
really liked the pressure from the Eastern Rangers. Stood out from the word go.
that was Hurahan who works it inboard, but now there's trouble. Just allowed Oakleigh in with the kick missing its target. They've got numbers at the back if they can get it across. But, they got numbers back well there, Eastern. They'll try and work it clear. Mallis will get it back. Looking to run it out. Over the back with support through Hurahan. And they've got it out further afield. They'll kick it down the line. Nice footwork. And thump forward. Well over the back it goes. To open space. They just get the numbers back again. Charges, 2 against 1 will win most contests. And they've got the clearance here through Elliott. Just got to hit up their target, and that they do at half back. And behind the play there, McGuinness will just set him up and hold that attack up, but he's turned it over to Gilby, who takes the juggler. He gets it back towards the goal square, but that'll be intercepted. It's been touched off the boot. Play on was the call. And McGuinness drives it out of there. And they'll chip it around to open space. They've got numbers through Rowell. Gets it back. He's got that ability to run through the middle, but we don't see him turn it over like that. And that is quarter time here at RSEA Stadium. And the Eastern Rangers with a slight lead. 18 plays 15 to Oakleigh.
Good quarter from the Eastern Rangers. They've started it from the word go. They came out with plenty of intent, put a heap of pressure on the Oakleigh Chargers, who haven't looked their normal selves in the opening stage of the game. Noah Anderson, Josh May getting on the scoreboard for the Chargers in that opening term of footy. For the Eastern Rangers, their goal kickers. As we'll go down to Siobhan first with the talent manager of the Oakleigh Chargers.
I'm here with the talent manager of the Eastern Rangers, Sean Toohey. Very close and tight start to that game. You'd have to be really impressed with the way your midfield played, though. What were your main takeaways from that first quarter?
I think we showed that we are competitive with, one of the best teams in the comp. It's obviously got a lot of top-end talent, very good side, very physical, but I think we matched them in that department. Probably just lacked a little bit of polish at times finishing, but, it's round one, high-pressure situation, you expect that. But, no, really impressed with the boys' endeavour.
Was pressure the main point that you wanted to drive home to the boys for this game? Because certainly the forward line pressure and pressure around the ground's been high today. It's
probably something this group prides himself on, is their defensive pressure. So while that's not the sole focus, we definitely want to get our hands on it and try and get it to our outside runners. I suppose when they've got the ball or it's in dispute, definitely a physical presence and high pressure game is what we want to pride ourselves on.
And for the viewers at home, who out of this list have you found has had a really good pre-season and one to look out for?
Yeah, we've got a number of players. Jamison Rossett has finally strung together a full pre-season, so with his body up and going, we're expecting a really good season from him, and he gives himself every chance now, so yeah.
And finally, what is the main thing that you told the boys, or the coach will tell the boys to focus on in this last 3 quarters?
Yeah, he'll just reinforce his messaging before the game, which is to stick to our, I suppose, setups and trust in each other. And definitely that high pressure, high intensity game style is something that we really want to make a bit of a trademark for us, and he'll keep reinforcing that. And definitely also, people like Cody Hurst and these sort of outside runners, if we can get it to them, they can be very damaging. So that'll just be the consistent messaging throughout the day.
Thanks for your time and good luck for the rest of the game.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Thank you very much to Siobhan. Polo Top's just deceiving me there. The talent manager of the Eastern Rangers, Sean Toohey, joining us here on the coverage.
They do look a bit different to the Chargers in the white Guernseys, don't they?
They do.
But we do like the contrast, us callers, that's for sure. Glad they've made that change.
A reminder to download the NAB League app. It's got everything this year, and we're using it. It's red hot in our hands today. Features live champion data stats for all NAB League boys games, post-game champion data stats for NAB League girls matches, leaderboards for both competitions for stats, live streaming of all boys matches with commentary for selected matches, plus replays, post-game replays for all the girls' games, and links to the NAB League and club social media accounts, which are at NAB League on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and a reminder to use the hashtag NAB League Boys. We might take a break here on the coverage of this round 1 double header. It is the Eastern Rangers by 3 points over the Oakleigh Chargers at quarter time. Welcome back to RSEA Park. Second term action in this round one clash between the Eastern Rangers and the Oakleigh Chargers. Once again, thanks to our NAB League partners, NAB, Open Universities Australia, Telstra, Puma, Rookie Me and the Bar Counter. We thank them for their support in this 2019 NAB League competition. Second term underway. Rick, with the Chargers looking to move the ball forward.
And they do that, but it's been intercepted. And we've got a high tackle there. And the free kick will be awarded to Cody Hurst, who goes on that left foot. Might have been smothered off the boot. And it was intercepted now. Aiton Delaney gets it forward. They'll try and work it around through May. Got slung in the tackle. And another tackle laid. And good work by Eastern. Good pressure. And Zach Pretty did well to hold him up there. Now there's been a ruck infringement and Big Harris Mastras. He's not that tall, but he's a big lump of a lad at 92 kilos.
You wouldn't want to stand in his way.
No. So it goes forward towards centre wing, but it's flipped out the back, and Oakleigh have got the runners here. If they can get it over the top, they'll carry it inside 50, and an intercept mark in the back line there. That's Todd Garner. There's also a Joel Garner that's at Port Adelaide now.
Yep, and they are, finding in my notes, they are related. Brothers, drafted in 2017, Joel Garner. And Todd's played 7 games across the last 2 seasons in the under-18 competition.
So not a lot of action at this stage of the second quarter. But, we've got ruck throw in. Mastras gets it down, trying to clear the Rangers. They'll get it out to Gilby, and he'll chip it down towards centre wing. But for some reason over that outer side, it keeps finding the line, doesn't it?
It does, and on the wrong side of the ground for us too, just quietly.
So just held up for a moment.
Different start to this quarter compared to the first.
Yeah,
not as much
exactly.
intensity.
So they flick it forward, and Eastern on the attack, but it'll be turned over. And intercepted and kicked down towards the centre wing. We've got some movement. Oh, good smother. That held up some territory there. And dribbled forward towards the boundary line, flipped over the back. It'll end up with Gall, and he's pinged. Good tackling that time through Schreiber. So Schreiber will go backwards. Oh, he's kicked over the head.
Oh.
It allows the player in through Rossiter, but they stayed composed until they've turned it over again. Now we've got on the burst, we've got Mellis, who goes inboard. He's got Stapleton, and he slams it through for a ripper. In one of the Open Universities plays of the week, that's for sure. There was good team effort there by Eastern there, Matt.
They showed good link up. Mellis, Stapleton, good to see him backfiring. Great goal. First goal of the second term, Lockie Stapleton. And as you mentioned, Rick, that'll definitely be amongst the contenders for the plays of the week. Thanks to Open Universities Australia. Kickstart your education goals by visiting open.edu.au. Check out those highlights during the week through the NAB League app, available through the App Store and through Google Play. Back in the middle, Brian won the tap down, but again it's the Eastern Rangers with the burst out of the middle in the hands of Mellis. Centering ball inside 50, just bobbled out of the hands of McCormick. Chargers, risky kick coming late. Impacting the contest there was Hurst. Under pressure, Rossiter will get a free kick. Man on the mark, just inside attacking 50. Jamison Rossiter. Played local footy with Rowville Footy Club, part of the Rowville Sports Academy. Coming off an injury-plagued 2018 season. That kick just faded to the right-hand side. And a minor score for the Eastern Rangers. They're holding firm here at the moment. 10-point advantage to Eastern. Not sure many people at the ground expected that, given the strength of this Chargers lineup. They've got it out the back, but it's all Rangers again. Hourihan has Gilby in support. Cleaned up there by Elliott. Ball over the boundary line and out of play.
So it's outer side of the ground. We'll have a ball in.
In front of the armchair experts out there, the clipboards.
So falls short of the ruckman there. Now Rowell gets it out the back and they'll chip it inboard, and a nice take. Got a mark. Is that Anderson again?
No.
Pick him up in a minute. No, that's
Dylan Williams.
Williams, of course.
Sorry, no, check that again. Noah Dempsey.
We got the Noah right. So Dempsey from 35 out, almost directly in front. Will kick on the left, and that looks good enough from here through the middle. Nice kick off the boot, Noah Dempsey, for his first of the day. And the margin has crept back to a 4-point game. Eastern with the lead.
Noah Dempsey from Burundara, local footy club. Also aligned with Carey Grammer. Played 3 games in 2018, averaging 10 disposals across those matches. Looking for a bit more game time from him with the Chargers in 2019. So we're back in the middle. Aiton Delaney working it clear for the Chargers. Towards half forward, bounces out the back. McRae with a task. And now Ugle-Hagen's run down.
Great chase.
And there'll be a 50-metre penalty as well, as Ugle-Hagen tried to hold him up. No. Must have been advantage. There's a bit of confusion there between the two umpires.
As you could see on the vision, James Blank, tall defender with a great chase there, and was rewarded.
They have awarded that 50-metre penalty there to the Eastern Rangers, who work it towards half forward. Charges with numbers around the footy. Anderson, long ball into the middle, is good to Dylan Williams, who got caught.
Has he had a haircut since last season, Dylan? I think he might have.
Catching me off guard on a couple of occasions. One of the things to get used to in the 2019 season is the kick goes into Lachlan Johnson for the Oakleigh Chargers. Son of Chris Johnson. And his name with Fitzroy in Brisbane.
Great player, Chrissy Johnson.
He was. Courageous. Comes in. That one just drifting to the right-hand side, and a minor score. So the Rangers to bring the ball back into play. Runs out of the defensive goal square. That's going to take a while to get used to, not seeing them kick it to themselves. Schreiber went up with the fly but was unable to bring it in. Bianco under pressure. Fed the handball out to Rowell. He pops it over the top. Chargers with a burst at half forward. Oglethorpe's got it. Charlie Oglethorpe with his first and puts the Rangers in, the Chargers in front.
Now, we just saw the skill of Matt Rowell there. It was sort of almost a look-away handball, but knew he had the player behind him running into space, and he put it out in front, the long handball, and it was a great goal assist there, and a good kick at the same time for goal. So we're back in the middle. Up they go, tapped over the back nicely. Oakleigh on the attack. Now that's Noah again, Noah Dempsey. And they get it forward, and it's just offline. Through for a behind.
Just starting to click into gear, aren't they, the Chargers, Rick?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Eastern do here to try and hold.
They don't need a panic.
No. Working it around nicely there. And it's in the hands of Cody Hurst, who uses it well. Gilby, he's not hard to spot, is he?
No. Only
Got
one
the
with a
skull
helmet.
cap on. Now they'll force it back into 50 here, Oakleigh, and they've got a mark out in front. Nice work by Hannon Mundy. Size about him as well, 190 centimetres and 95 kgs.
Comes from East Burwood. Aligned with the Box Hill Senior Secondary College. Mundy.
So he'll come in from 45. Kicks, got a bit close to the man on the mark there, and it's off the side for a behind. So they're just edging in front here, Oakleigh. Got a 5-point margin, 12 minutes into this second quarter. So they bring it to ground now, Easton, and work it towards centre wing. Got an opportunity here through Black. So Black will, he's got a few boys asking for it. He's just going to decide to spear it straight to Oakleigh. They mop it up, get it out the back door, and now they'll switch into the middle of the ground. Got enough players in to hold it in for the moment, Oakleigh. Eastern get numbers back to try and win it back. That they do. But again, there's probably 20 players in the middle of this passage. Made it very difficult to get the ball out. It's slapped out the back now. And they'll dribble it inside 50. But this time, Oakleigh with the clearance towards centre wing. And it's with Schreiber. He goes forward. But it favours the captain in Ross. He should be able to swing back and get it out. He does. Now they'll try and work it out of there, but good pressure by Rowell. Held him up. Now Anderson gets it. Gets it across. Now a little chip kick in from Johnston. Went a bit too wide and out of bounds. So we're only about 10 metres around from the behind post. Oakleigh attacking. Pretty dry in the background, isn't it, that outer? Had some warm weather in Melbourne.
It's been sticky the last couple of days too. Just making things that a little uncomfortable. There's a tackle applied on by the Rangers. Black coming in over the top. Son of Heath Black. Played 138 games for Fremantle and 54 for St Kilda. As Chargers are able to cause another stoppage. No, ball spills free. Black again with the ball in his hands, released the handball. A little volleyball spike.
It's a throw.
Didn't think he'd get away with it. So Chargers get another chance through Dempsey. Short kick. Phillips. They get it into the hands of Oglethorpe. Kick, though, well wide and out on the full. They come in. Hurahan takes the mark. Back pocket out of side for the Eastern Rangers. Fortunately, couldn't take it again after his kick missed its target. And out on the full, coming off the boot. So free kick to go the way of the Oakleigh Chargers. Matty Rowell with the ball in his hands. A piercing ball inside 50. Rangers caught high. And receiving the free kick is James Blank. Back pocket. Yep, well and truly got his head ripped off on that occasion as we've got another whistle downfield. Rangers to get the free kick again. Defensive side of the outer wing. They trail by 5 points. Just under 10 minutes left on the clock in this second term of the NAB League. With a brilliant mark taken on the outer wing by Reef McGuinness. Comes inboard. No mark paid. Rowell with the ball in his hands again. Goes towards half forward. Dribbling ball inside 50. Charges in pursuit through Tucker up against the boundary line. Beautiful goal there from Tucker.
That's the goal of the day, that's for sure. And you could put it in there with the player of the day, Open Universities or player of the week.
Yeah, definitely will be featuring amongst them that goal. What a ripper there from Samuel Tucker. Open University's Australia Plays of the Week. Kickstart your education goals by visiting open.edu.au. Brilliant goal from the big man. 195 centimetres and 88 kilos. So moved pretty well for someone of that size.
Yeah, he did well and kept it low. It gave him a better chance and nailed it. They go in the middle. No clear winner. Mastras trying to break out of there. And now we've got Chabon on the boundary.
Just a quick injury update. Jamara Ugle-Hagan from the Oakleigh Chargers has been going through some run-throughs on the boundary line. Looks to have hurt his hamstring or part of his leg. Getting a rub down now and not sure whether he'll come back on the ground.
Good signs for the excitement machine there, Jamara Ugle-Hagan. Thanks, Siobhan.
Now back in play. We've got a pack forming and we'll have a ball up. Almost at centre wing. Saw him doing some stretches there, Ugle-Hagan. So didn't look a bad strain, whatever it is. So we'll have another ball up here.
Just heading around the grounds, Murray Bushrangers and Gippsland Power. Early, in fact, just towards quarter time in that match, Bushrangers 2-4-16, leading the Power 2-1-13.
There's a bit of a block or a shepherd in the ruck and a 50-metre penalty. They've been hot on that today, the 50 metres. So setting the standards early in the season. And we've got Jacob Woodfull to have a shot on goal. Big ruckman. So Woodfull can see plenty of it. Little skip and shoots it wide. Snuck in for a behind. So they've got a little bit of a margin here, Oakleigh. We'll see if in the closing minutes of this first half whether Eastern can peg back the 12-point margin. They bring it to ground. Little handball through space. Again, good pressure there by Eastern to hold up play.
Didn't have the footy there.
Didn't have the footy.
Mundy.
So Mundy will go back inboard and he's found his man there, Aiton Delaney. And Aiton Delaney Joe Aiton Delaney
It's a
with the hyphen.
name that has become familiar with the Oakleigh Chargers over the last couple of years. Has played 20 games all up over the last 2 seasons in the under-18 competition.
He's gone right as well.
I wonder whether the conditions down there are just playing a little bit of havoc down there. You can
it's
see
a
the
bit-
trees
yeah, it's a
moving
bit-
in the background.
A bit breezier than we think, I think, Matthew.
Might go shortly down to the boundary line to Siobhan to get an update on what the wind is doing here at RSEA Park. As the ball for the Rangers, they were searching for Gilby. Unable to take it cleanly. Robertson had an opportunity. A centering ball is good for the Chargers. Noah Anderson has taken the mark. Son of Dean Anderson, played 10 games last year, racking up 13 goals with an average of 19 disposals a game. Let's go down to Siobhan just to get an update on conditions down there.
Yes, oppressive conditions with the sun bearing down on the players, but there is a slight breeze coming towards the left-hand side and more towards the commentary box, so it may be affecting the way the ball is moving in the air.
Thank you, Siobhan. As Noah Anderson, that time it's gone left for the Oakleigh Chargers. Could have skipped away to a nice little lead. They maximised their opportunities in the last few minutes. As Gilby brings the ball back into play for the Rangers. Hits up Clark, back pocket. Long kick, was searching for Hurahan just out of his grasp. Ball over the boundary line and out of play.
So we're 55 out from the Oakleigh goal, who are doing all the attacking at the minute. And that breeze took that ball. Brian tapped it forward. And we've got a ball up. Brian again. Trying to work it out of there, Easton, but good pressure by the Chargers again. And they'll pay the free kick here. Going Elliott's way. Now they're through the middle and over the top, probably overcooked the pass. And a good take in defence there. They'll work it through to that outer side again where it just keeps finding the line out there.
It does.
And,
just having a look at a couple of the stats, or a standout stat from the match so far. 25 inside 50s for the Chargers to 11. That's the major difference so far in the game. Everything else is fairly level.
So they'll try and work it out here, Easton, and that they do through the middle. Just get a kick clear towards forward part of that centre square. Pack forming again. Still getting plenty of congestion, aren't we, in general play with the change of the 666 rules. So out the back, Malice. They've driven it forward, inside 50, and out of bounds it goes. So this is the chance they've needed this quarter, Easton, just to settle it down and see if they can counter here while they're attacking.
Just with a minute on the clock as well. Leading possession getters on the ground. Noah Anderson has racked up 14 touches along with Aiton Delaney. Bianco with 13, Rowell 11. So the top 4 disposal getters dominated for the Oakleigh Chargers. Gilby the best for the Rangers with 10.
And they've been able to hold up here, Oakleigh, and they've got a runner in Rowell at centre wing who chips it inboard. They might be able to sneak a last-minute goal here, and that they do over the back door, and they should be able to. And it's through for another to Noah Anderson, who racks up his second. And that was just quick transformation. It was in the back pocket. And again, an Open University Play of the Week contender with just people popping over the back easy as they like.
Great link up, and you mentioned after that congested passage of play too, Rick.
Yep.
It was good that they were able to find their way out of the door. McRae setting things up for the Oakleigh Chargers. As you said, definitely a contender for the plays of the week, thanks to Open Universities Australia. Kickstart your education goals by visiting open.edu.au. As the siren sounds for half-time here at RSEA Park, a 20-point advantage to the Oakleigh Chargers after a solid first half of footy from both sides, Rick.
Yeah, and just that last 15 minutes, Oakleigh got the initiative and drew away to a 20-point margin because Eastern had the lead prior to that. And well done to Oakleigh to sticking to their guns and get their work rate up a bit more. And their players look pretty keen in that huddle from the work rate that they showed in that second part of that quarter.
Definitely worked their way into the game. Neville Thorpe, Anderson, Tucker, Dempsey all getting on the board there in that second term for the Oakleigh Chargers. A reminder, if you want full and extensive stats, check out the NAB League app. It's all there for you. Just select the game that you're after and you'll be able to see live champion data stats for every NAB League boys match live. And every boys match is also live streamed as well. So make sure you download the NAB League app.
Telstra being the digital partner of the NAB League as well. And of course, Puma with the apparel, and Rookie Me, the testing partner.
Bar Counter, the nutrition partner, and of course the naming rights and principal partner, NAB. We thank them for their support of the NAB League boys and girls competition throughout 2019. We'll take a break here from RSEA Park in Moorabbin. At half-time, it is the Oakleigh Chargers by 20 points over the Eastern Rangers. Welcome back to RSEA Park. This round one clash between the Oakleigh Chargers and the Eastern Rangers. Chargers holding sway by 20 points at half-time, as we'd like to welcome to the commentary box Brett Allison. Welcome, Brett. Another new year around, and it's a perfect day for it, really, isn't it, for round one?
Yeah, conditions have been pretty good today. Look, it's a little bit blowy, I think, out on the ground. But other than that, no, it's pretty good for footy. So it's great to see the boys out there running around, and round one's underway. So it's good.
Now, Brett, you've had a slight change to your role this year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I have. So the last 2 seasons I've been the Metro Talent Manager, so a lot of admin and organising and running of the program. And this season they've whacked me back into coaching, so I'm coaching the Vic Metro Academy, National Academy squad, and I'll coach the under-18 Vic Metro team at the championship. So putting the whistle back on.
How are you enjoying it so far, getting back involved, blowing the whistle, telling players off, no doubt?
Oh, look, to be honest, it's certainly where I feel more comfortable out of the 2 roles. Certainly enjoyed the talent ID side of the other role, but yeah, look, coaching is something that I've been doing for probably 15, 16 years now, so certainly feel far more comfortable in that area. We've had 2 camps so far, which have gone really well with the 30 boys that are already in, and the next sort of 2-3 weeks is about trying to identify another 20-25 players to come in and start the trial for 2 trial games against Vic Country, which is the start of our championship season. So I'm starting to try and narrow those blokes down now over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
What sort of help do you get to identify the talent there, Brett? You can't be everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Although we are on the NAB live app,
on the app,
aren't we?
Yeah, so I got to have a look at yesterday's game, which doesn't really help me because they were both country teams. So,
okay.
But it came up really well on the app, which is fantastic. Look, I've got assistant coaches that we try and get round to the games. But the biggest help we get, we reach out to the AFL clubs and use their recruiting network. So we've got a panel of 4 coaches 4 recruiters. I think it's Collingwood, Carlton, Essendon, and St Kilda that are involved with the selection of the Metro squad this season. So I certainly rely pretty heavily on their thoughts.
About to get this third term underway here at RSEA Park. 20-point lead to the Oakleigh Chargers over the Eastern Rangers. Rick Morris to get us underway.
And he's certainly got a big leap, Nick Bryan, and they get it forward straight away, Oakleigh. Down towards forward 50, but intercepted by Downey. They crunch the pack, and Oakleigh will come forward yet again. Williams on the left, kicks towards a one-on-one in the square. Up they go. Oh, they got it down to Noah Anderson, who pops it through for his third, and showing his ability to go forward again. And Anderson dribbles it through. Touch of class about him. And we've seen him over the last couple of years, Brett, Noah. How do you rate him?
Look, class was the word I think you used, and that's a pretty good summation of him. Can win the ball multiple ways, in the air, on the ground, as you just saw. He's a pretty highly thought of prospect, and he's been in really good form the last couple of weeks.
Good to hear. Runs a bit like his dad too, similar running style.
Yeah, massive work rate. He's got a big work rate, and that's one of his major positives.
Back in the middle, the umpire judges a high free kick the way of the Chargers. Wobbly ball towards half forward. Downey for the Rangers, mopping up. Just a little high over Duffy. Williams now for Oakleigh. Gets it to Rowell. Pops the handball over back to Williams. Tried to get it to Aiton Delaney, but it's just a little hot for him, and we won't get a stoppage. Ball pops out to Williams. Dribbling ball at the top of the square. Rangers are able to repel, and Gall takes the mark. Defensive side of the outer wing. Moving it well. Hurst with a bit of speed. Pops it over the top to Clark. From just inside 50, Clark. He's to the left-hand side and a minor score. Matty Rowell, Brett, is a player on everyone's lips. Your thoughts on him?
Yeah, well, he should be on everyone's lips. Again, a huge work rate, which is that's what he stands out for at this level. Gets a lot of the ball, wins a lot of the footy, but it's because he just keeps turning up, and his endurance, and he uses it during the game. That's the main reason. Add that with his contested ball prowess and his decision making and the way he goes about his task. But it's just that work rate that sets him apart from a lot of the others at the moment.
If you were to find an improvement for him, even though he's a pretty well-rounded player, what would be the one thing that you're looking to see from him improve?
Just when he leads up because he does a lot of things really well. When he leads up at the footy and takes a mark, he can just want to go back off the mark and hold the play up rather than wheel and go straight away if he's got a chance. So I reckon that's one thing he could possibly work on. But geez, he does a lot of things really well at the moment.
Now they're working it towards the cameraman here in front of us, and Oakleigh have been able to get it out and open up the play, and they've kicked to a one-on-one. Oh, good intercept there. Deep in defence that time by Garner. He goes, they found trouble around the 50, and we'll have a ball up. 50-metre arc's an important part of the game now, isn't it? With all these new rules.
Hey, no doubt.
So they'll tap it forward, and a big kick by Malice kicks it high up and under. Down towards centre wing. They get it forward, paddle it forward through Oglethorpe. They've got support, but Oakleigh get back and help out again. They're doing this very well at the minute. Hayden Delaney out the back door. He's got support, and they'll go further afield, and they'll just hold up for the minute through Will Phillips. He'll chip it further afield. He's got support.
Harry Mastras.
Mastras, he's a big lump of a lad. And now they'll work it up towards half forward. Oh, good spring in his heel there, Mundy. And kicks towards full forward. They got their hand on it, Eastern, and were able to repel for a moment. And the kick found the line. Hannon Mundy's you wouldn't want to have his food bill, would you? 190 centimetres and 95 kgs there, Brett.
Yeah, and look, he was in the 16s Metro program a couple of years ago, but didn't quite make the final squad. Had some injury problems and wasn't able to play. So it's good to see. I think that carried on to his bottom age year last year too. So it's good to see him out there this season, plying his trade and playing some footy.
Kick towards a contest here. Dylan Williams just gets to the boundary side. Seem to have plenty of time here, and they'll straighten up Noah Anderson again, and he's burst it through for another. That's his fourth. He's penetrating kick.
Yeah, just really good composure from Sam Tucker there, one of their bottom age players who's in our Metro or in the academy for the Metro at the moment. Finding Noah, and then Noah with the poison class we've spoken about earlier, finishing the job.
I'm not sure about his haircut. Just looking at him on the screen,
he can get a few looks about him, Noah, but it's okay. It doesn't affect his footy.
That's it. That's all that matters at the end of the day.
He's a real standout at the moment, Noah Anderson, whether he's middle or forward.
Ball back in the middle. Rowell with his head over the footy is caught. Hot footy in the middle. Eventually it's extracted the way of the Rangers. Stapleton applying the tackle, and we'll get a ball up. Oakleigh just starting to put the foot on the throttle in this third quarter. Slowly getting away from the Eastern Rangers, who started the game well. Rowell again involved, just unable to get the handball away cleanly. And the umpire will call them back over the mark.
They were able to do the same thing last week, Eastern, in the final practice game. They had a really strong first quarter against Calder and got out to a 4 or 5 goal lead, and then just unfortunately weren't able to keep it going for the for the duration of the game. And unfortunately, it looks like this game's taken the same sort of pattern at the moment.
Positive signs, though, given wasn't their best of seasons last year in the under-18 competition. As we've got a goal there from Todd Garner, the Eastern Rangers.
And that was brought on through that heavy tackle by Zach Pretty, which wasn't the first time we've seen him do that today. So that was really good play in the middle of the ground there to hold up the Chargers and score the goal. So Garner on the board.
Great to see the run too from he's playing at centre half back or in key defensive area there. So he's followed the play down well. Younger brother of Joel Garner, who was drafted to Port Adelaide, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So good to see Todd finishing well there.
Anderson will scoop it out the back, and they'll try and paddle it forward, and that they do. And we'll have a shot on goal. It's almost going all the way. Hits the post. So good work that time by Schreiber. He's been busy throughout the game. So they'll play on from full back. Straighten it up again and switch play in the hands of Garner. So you're right. Covering a bit of ground at the moment. Over the back, the big spoil. Mattress trying to pummel his way through that tackle. But well done to the lad that was underneath that. That was Schreiber. Hung on to him, wouldn't let go of him.
He did well. He did well.
It was a bit of a mismatch in the weight division. But they'll ball it up again, Matthew. See if you can clear it out from underneath us.
He backed himself there, Schreiber. Good intent. As Rowell again with his head over the footy, trying to get the handball away. Tackle now laid on by Mitch Mellis, a best and fairest winner for the Eastern Rangers in 2018. Ball just bounced past Anderson, close to the boundary line. Stapleton dished it back to Brown, who goes further back to Fee Gamali. I'm hoping I've got that right. Apologies if not.
That's correct, Fee Gamali.
As Hurst now goes inside attacking 50. Just off the chest there of the Rangers, and Chargers will come out looking for Elliott, just outside defensive 50. Tries to get around the player on the mark. We're in a bit of strife here, the Oakleigh Chargers, and have coughed it up, Brett.
Yeah, look, it's one of the frustrations, I suppose, that I see a fair bit of this age group. There's players around to use. Just give them the ball. Why try and take on a tackle or break a tackle when they're there? Give them the, use your teammates and they'll keep turning up. If you want to keep doing it the other way, you can find it, during time you'll just be running by yourself because people won't be bothered making making the effort to get over and help you.
And get quite lonely.
Yeah.
Oakleigh bring it wide. They're searching there for Phillips. Ball bouncing just inside the boundary line. Chargers again with a lot of numbers around the footy. They've just got to work it away cleanly, and that they do. Into the middle, just bobbled on the chest. But able to work it clear in the end was Schreiber. He's had a good third quarter so far, and it ends up back in his hands again. Short to Rowell, had time to gather. As a player out wide, taking the mark is Elliott. Ball inside 50, bouncing ball for Dylan Williams, close to the boundary line, and the ball is seen over and out of play. Dylan Williams is a skipper and another one of the Chargers on the AFL Academy list, Brett.
Yeah, he is, and he's quite a versatile player. He's a little bit in between size-wise, I suppose, so more medium forward. He's got a good set of hands and knows where the goals are, that's for sure. Like to see him play, up the ground a bit higher and use some, show his running ability and what else he can do, so that clubs can get a good idea of, what sort of roles he might be able to play at the next level.
It's a good point because they did throw him in the middle there for a short patch there this quarter, and it's a a problem size for players that have got a lot of ability at this age level that, the key forward that they're used to playing a key forward role, but when they get to AFL level, they're not going to be your full forward, are they?
Yeah, and certainly that's one of the big jobs for the talent managers and the coaches of the NAB league teams is to be able to identify those roles. And yes, they're doing okay for us here now, but where are they going to play at the next level? And if they think they're good enough, where are they going to be able to play? And then they can control that on the during the games and during the season, and put those players in those areas and expose them to and give them some experience in the type of roles that they're going to play at AFL level.
And in between all that, Thomas Graham was the goal kicker who got an easy one in the goal square. And the lead has extended Oakleigh 64, Eastern 32.
Just on that point, Brett, with the new rules, 6 by 6 by 6, that versatility for players to, especially wingmen, there's a lot of talk at the moment about how they could come to prominence again. How do you, I suppose, mould a player in that position at this level?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting point, and the rules do are going to bring back a more traditional type of footy, I think, at times. So yeah, it's just about identifying blokes that can run and are going to be able to get up and down the ground, because clearly that's one thing you need to be able to do, and give them a couple of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks in that area, and see how that goes. Combine that with that high half forward role. They're the sort of quandaries that the coaches and the talent managers have to come up with, and what they need to throw around and try and look in the best interests of the player all the time.
That was a great gather again by Graham, but missed that little banana.
Yeah, big Tom Graham. He's hasn't played a lot of footy. I think he's come over from basketball. I think son of Mark Graham, who used to play at Hawthorn and Richmond.
Yep.
So I think he's a 19-year-old, I believe, who's certainly on shown some good form the last couple of weeks at Oakleigh, but still learning the game. Obviously, still got a bit to do in the game sense area of football at the moment.
So they're out of side, almost wing, and that magnet over there that keeps drawing it over. Seen a fair bit of that today, out of bounds on that outer side. So the ball in. The boy Brian gets the tap out. And now they run it through the middle, as easy as they like, the Chargers. And down towards centre half forward, there's a mark paid, I believe.
It is to Big
Mundy.
Cannon
Look
Mundy.
good enough from here. Mundy. Strong hands there in the contest. Hannon Mundy. We'll find him a lower number by the end of the year, hopefully. 67. I would have thrown that back at him, wouldn't you, Brett?
He might get a bit tired later on carrying that, do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's his favourite number, that might be. But he's missed there, Hannon.
He's had a couple of shots, Mundy on goal, and just hasn't been unable to convert.
Now we're underneath the broadcast here, hugging the boundary. Big fellow in Nick Bryan gets it inboard. Anderson lost it, but went again for it. Now they'll get it into some space here, Easton. Just that little hand by the Chargers there. That was great work that time. McGuinness just held them up, but they've bounced back here through Clark and got it down towards half forward. And out of bounds it goes. How often in footy today that little hand into a handball just was Richmond's strength a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Stop that handball.
It's a big part of, we call it basketball hands, get them out, try and deflect it as much as you can, and you can see if that had got through, it was almost a 3 versus 1, and Easton would have run it all the way in, but just that, a great effort from, I think you said it was Oglethorpe, or was it McInnes? You said McGuinness. Reef, who got his hand on it and just deflected, and it stopped the whole play, unfortunately, for Easton. It would have been great to see him go down and kick a goal.
As the ball comes outside 50, Charges again with a bit of a burst down the outer side. And goes searching there for Tucker. Up against the boundary line, rolls over and out of play. A bit more about your role, Brett. It's not a traditional coaching role, is it? Because you've got players that are no doubt in other clubs and you're playing their own game style, and they come to you. How difficult is that from your perspective, given that you don't have full control?
Yeah, difficult. No, look, I don't see it as difficult, because my plan is to keep it as absolutely simple as I can because of that, the reason you just mentioned. They're already, aligned to NAB league clubs and regions, and their coaches will be asking them to do certain things. A lot of them are then also aligned to schools. They'll have another coach who's probably trying to play a slightly different style of footy to the NAB region club. So my plan is to really try and just let them play as much as I possibly can without putting many constraints around them, if you can understand what I mean. I think they've got it hard enough to try and learn, 2 or 3 different ways of playing. Mine will all be about probably just let them make the best decisions they possibly can. It'll be crack in and win and win your one-on-ones, but after that I'll trust them to do what they need to or what they think they need to do with the footy after that.
So do you mind a bit of flair, or what do the players with certain flair are able to use it, or do you want to stick to the strict team guideline?
Every coach loves flair when it comes off, Rick.
What about Barras and Blighty when he kicked from the boundary?
Well, I don't see myself as in the mould of the great Ronald Dale Barassi as a coach. So my intensity won't be anywhere near those levels, I wouldn't think. So look, I'll encourage them to show the clubs and the recruiters what they're capable of doing, and then there'll be no ramifications for mistakes or errors. If they're trying to do the right thing. And my experience in development over the 15, 17 years I've been involved is that players don't do things on purpose. They're always trying to do the right thing. So why get angry or punish them for it?
Now, Dylan Williams has finally hit the board. That was his first genuine attempt on goal. And a nice kick from 50 delivers. And that's got him out to a nice little lead here. Oakleigh, 73-32. So they're stepping up, putting their foot on the gas there.
And it was a beautiful delivery from Noah Anderson into Williams.
Yep.
Sublime foot skills from Noah.
Yeah, which is great, and Dylan certainly that's an area of his game we know he does well. He's a pretty reliable set shot for goal when he gets his chances, and great to see he's gone into the middle of the ground now, so we get to see him in a different area and see what he can do there.
Nelly got his hands onto the footy as well. As Figamali flicked the ball out to Vassis, who goes to the top of the 50-metre arc for the Eastern Rangers. Just scrapping the ball around. They've eventually able to work it out to Gall up against the boundary line. He's put it out on the full. Chargers will get an opportunity to reset under 5 minutes left in this third quarter here at RSEA Park.
Is there anyone that you'd like to see a bit more out of this game that's been a bit quiet so far?
No, there's been a few that have come under notice and done quite well. That have been spoken about by their talent managers and their coaches. So I'm quite pleased with that. Young number 7, Lockie Stapleton for Eastern has been really good in the middle of the ground. I've had a good look at him today, and he's certainly one that's capable of, I think, possibly going to the next level. The big ruckman also from Eastern, Big Riley Smith, is probably one to keep an eye on. Nick Bryan, the ruckman from Oakleigh, also is an impressive beast out there and does some nice things.
Got a great leap on him as well for a tall player.
And really mobile, gets after it again when it hits ground level, and that's great to see from the ruckman. There's plenty of there's plenty that have been put under notice to me, and it's good to see that a number of them are coming along quite well.
Mellis takes the mark. Attacking side of the outer wing for the Eastern Rangers. Flat ball inside 50's cut off by Fraser Elliott. For the Chargers inside defensive 50. Goes to Williams at centre half-back. Just got a little friendly nudge there as he took the mark. Co-captain for the Chargers. Wants to come to the broadcast side. May has 2 to beat. He's caught by Pretty. The Rangers have numbers to rebound. Phillips chasing after it for the Chargers. Now applies the tackle. He gets the ball back in his hands, does Phillips, and retreats backwards and back into his hands again. Now across to McGuinness. The Chargers are able to work it clear. High ball towards half forward. Bounced off the chest there of Hurahan, but had support. Downey almost ran into trouble. Flicks it wide to Ross, the skipper of the Eastern Rangers. Dribbling ball on the half-forward flank outer side. Unable to get to it there is Billy McCormick. Started the game well, Billy. Kicked a goal in the opening quarter.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a shame this quarter for Eastern. They've had some good go forward footy and into forward 50, but just that kick, that last kick going inside 50, not quite hitting the target or being advantageous to the forward, and they could have made a lot better out of it had that been the case. So they'll work on that, no doubt, after this week, and Boris will get them going. Darren Buick, who's the coach, will he'll review the game and put them to work on what he thinks they need to improve to get a better performance out in the following week.
10th season in charge, Darren, too.
Yeah, does a great job.
So it's over the back, and Oakleigh, good tackle. Just held up that defensive move, but got a shot on goal that was partially smothered, I think. No, he got enough on it, out in the full. That wind's picked up a little and creating a bit of havoc out there. It's not too bad, but...
just annoying.
There we go. We see the breeze there in the background. The trees. Now Oakleigh have it in the back pocket.
Ground's in far better condition than when I used to play.
Oh, it would have been. It was one of the muddy grounds, wasn't it, back in your day?
I've heard the showers are pretty hot too, which is be a pleasant surprise.
And the crowd?
Yeah,
more tame?
Yeah, much a much more composed crowd here today than some of the ones I've experienced. Good to see that cage has been taken down too.
History lesson there from Brett Ellison here on NAB League live streaming through the NAB League official app. Downloaded at the App Store or through Google Play. As the siren sounds for three-quarter time here at RSEA Park. Oakleigh 10-13-73 leading the Eastern Rangers 5-3-33. If you were to pick a couple of roughies for us to keep our eyes on over the next couple of weeks, Brett, not just from the two sides out there today, but players to keep in mind as we head towards April.
Ooh, yes, that's good. Some roughies. Oscar Lewis was in the game before.
I liked him. Nice left foot.
Yeah, good size, runs really well. I'm going to have a look at pay some attention to a kid at Western, Saad Al Hawley, I think his name is. Who's an NGA player to the Bulldogs.
Okay.
I've seen him once. Liked what I saw there. Hopefully he'll continue that today. And who else? A couple at Northern, Jackson Davies, and young Phillips. Phillips, I think his name is. I can't remember his first name, but they've been nice, pretty good, solid players for Northern, who hopefully will continue that today. Yeah, there's a couple. There's plenty of them, though. I mean, there's a lot of talent in this competition. There's a lot of players that won't won't play in the championships, and they'll still get drafted. You know, that,
Yep.
it's just a.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. There'll be six. I think it was 6 or 7 last year. There's always around that number that you just can't fit them all in.
Yeah, exactly.
Into the final squad, and you know, it is the football heartland, obviously, here in Melbourne, and there's plenty of talent to go around. So that's the message to try and, you know, to get across to the kids. Yeah, it's great. You want to play and you want to make the Metro side, but it's not the end of the world. You can still play really good footy for the rest of the season and still get yourself on a list. So just keep going and keep at it and keep going.
Brett Allison joining us in the commentary box for the third quarter. Thanks very much for coming up and giving us some great insights into the Vic Metro players and also just in general some of the stars that we'll see throughout the 2019 NAB League competition. Thanks very much.
That's great. Great, boys. Pleasure to be here, and well done to you blokes on the production today. You've lifted the standard, which is great to see, and hope it all goes well for you for the rest of the year. Oh, no doubt we'll be seeing you.
Thank you very much to Brett Allison. We'll take a break here from RSEA Park. Back for the final quarter here at RSEA Park, where the Oakleigh Chargers 10-13-73 leading the Eastern Rangers 5-3-33 in the second match of a double-header here in Moorabbin today. It was a good start to the Eastern Rangers. Oakleigh have worked their way on top, as they usually do, and we've come to expect over the last few years. To get us underway for the final term, here's Rick Morris.
Tapped down by Woodfull. Gets it to ground. Eastern getting numbers in there and sharked nicely by Stapleton. They work it clear, but that'll be turned over. And Chargers go wide. Out of bounds it goes. So we're at the grandstand side of this newly opened RSEA Park. Fantastic complex and great for the viewers or the spectators that come along. Fantastic layout, good surface. And they paddle it forward. Can't quite break away. And we'll have a ball up at half forward for Oakleigh.
Ground's in immaculate condition too, given it's only recently been reopened after the refurbishment. St Kilda now using it as their training base, and Sandringham Dragons, as we heard a little earlier, have also used it as their training base over the summer months.
Not a lot of happening, but it's flipped out the back and Williams gets it forward. Through for behind.
Just go around the grounds with a few other games happening this afternoon. Out at Rams Arena, the Murray Bushrangers are trailing the Gippsland Power by 2 points, 5 minutes into the third quarter. And down in Colac, this might be a potential upset on the cards. 5-1-31, the Bendigo Pioneers leading the Geelong Falcons by 30 points heading towards quarter time.
It's an interesting game, isn't it, from Bendigo?
A good start for them, and there's one other match to get us through round one of the 2019 NAB League Boys competition. Northern Knights taking on the Western Jets. That match at Icon Park kicking off at 3:40 this afternoon. You can stream all those games live through the NAB League app. Just make sure you download it first from the App Store or Google Play Store. Live stats for every game, live streaming of all NAB League Boys matches, replays of all the NAB League Girls matches as well. It's got everything for you.
Just got under it that time, and the free kick paid to Ben Hickleton. Just got pushed out of position, but he wasn't even going to take the mark, so a bit lucky there.
A little ill-discipline there from the Oakleigh Chargers. Hickleton played 2 games last season, kicking 5 goals. Running up for his first today.
So he'll kick from 45, and he thumps it, but it just worked a bit left. Nice leg on him. Through for behind, 33-74. Bit of a margin there to Oakleigh. So they'll play on. And a bit of a finger breaker, that one. Out of bounds it goes. They haven't quite, I'm not sure the clubs have been able to work out the kick out from full back, how to stop the player from playing on. And they're electing to give him that space, aren't they, even in the AFL?
Yeah, they seem to be opening up that pocket. Take a few rounds before they'll find some way of shutting that down. Just coming over the top there was Phillips to impact the contest. Begamali chasing after it for the Eastern Rangers. Ended up with a footy, fed it inboard. Good tackle laid on by Phillips to cause the stoppage for the Oakleigh Chargers. Half back on the outer side. Oakleigh will be looking to take one more step in 2019, given they were runners-up last year to the Dandenong Stingrays in the under-18 competition. And they've had a few good seasons. Back in 2017, they made the preliminary final. Just been unable to get over the line. this year whether they'll be able to do that. They've got a strong list once again. As the Rangers coming through the middle, Stapleton gave it across to Malice. Got some movement here, the Eastern Rangers. They'll send it inside, attacking 50. Not a great kick in the end, and Dempsey takes the mark.
Just needed to be a higher ball, that, didn't it? Pass wasn't quite on. Good intercept there by Stapleton.
Did very well to hold it up. They elect to play on. Malice kicks it to the square, and again the Chargers are able to take the intercept. Mastris kicks it into the back pocket. On the outer side, Oglethorpe with the ball in his hands. Flicks it wide. It was risky in the end. Gall pushing it over the boundary line and out of play for the Eastern Rangers.
That wind is starting to play tricks on those kicks, and that held up there in the breeze, just allowed the Rangers player to come in and spoil. So they'll throw it in, Eastern attacking. They'll just try to rove to the Oakleigh ruckman there. And now they're trying to burst out of there, Oakleigh. Good gang tackling. We'll have a ball up inside the 50. See what Eastern can make of this play. So they work it down through Smith, gets it down. Little flip over the back, and they'll just hack it forward. Spoil. Play on's a call. They let it go. Good tackling. Again, just held up Oakleigh for that moment. Now they should be able to get it on the break with a series of handballs, but eventually it undone, and then we'll have another turnover. So this time through Graham. Again, it goes back into the Eastern hands, and they'll work it across half forward and deliver it down towards that pocket. The fist came in, and I don't know what sort of kick that was. It was attempted, but it was smothered. And now Elliott has it at centre half back for the Chargers. They should be able to get a break here, and on the run. They'll work it down towards half forward. Just needs a kind bounce. Good work. Just outsmarted his opponent there. Tilly did well. But again, Oakleigh have been able to hold them up. And that ball eventually works its way across on the 50-metre line for a throw-in. The boundary umpires have earned their keep today, Matt.
They certainly have. Running around in the heat out there as well.
Yep.
Glad we're up here in the shade of the grandstand. Just looking ahead to round two for these two sides going forward as Aiton Delaney actually takes it away from the contest and it's hit the woodwork. Minor score from the 19-year-old. The Oakleigh Chargers will take on the Calder Cannons next Sunday afternoon out at Rams Arena. 3:40 that match to kick off, whilst the Eastern Rangers will be taking on the Western Jets at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. That match to kick off at 12:30 next weekend on Sunday, 31st of March.
So we're out on the outer side again with another ball in, and the umpires let it go down towards Cody Hurst. They'll deliver it down towards half forward and thumped away for another throwing. Bit of a quiet achiever today, Joe Aiton Delaney, with 23 possessions so far. Always had a good work rate.
His returns as a 19-year-old to the Oakleigh Chargers. One of the unlucky ones not to be drafted last year. The Chargers had 11 players entering the AFL system. Joseph Aiton Delaney will be searching for his opportunity in 2019. They've moved it forward here, Oakleigh. Handball flicked backwards, was searching for Tucker. Rangers playing hot potato at the moment. Gilby up against the boundary line, went down at searching for Downey. Cut it really fine, too fine. And the Chargers, another opportunity to set up. Inboard kick is perfect. mark taken by Noah Anderson, who will line up for goal number 5 today for the Oakleigh Chargers. He's been impressive, Rick.
Yeah, he has a clear standout for mine today in this game, with the leading possession winner as well, with coming up to his 25th disposal, and he's got 5 goals on the board as well there, Noah Anderson.
As he comes in, long run up, man on the mark, stands about 45 metres out. Long kick, umpire working a long way to the left and goes through for a minor score. So Oakleigh move on to 10-16-76, leading the Eastern Rangers 5-4-34. Gilby, back pocket, takes the game on. Again, puts it into a bit of space, searching for Downey, trying to get that link up. They've tried that twice, and unfortunately it hasn't come off for them. We'll get a boundary throw in between centre wing and half forward on the outer side of RSEA Park here in Moorabbin. Tossed back in. Rangers work it to Downey, who will kick a dribbling one towards half forward. He gets it back into his hands, does Downey. That's a better kick and hits up a target. And Fia Gamali for the Eastern Rangers.
Good work, Matt. You nailed it.
I've been practicing that one, given my history with names. Hawthorn, Next Generation Academy listed player for Gamali. And has just missed out on a goal there. Minor score for the Eastern Rangers. Move to 5-5-35. Oakleigh Chargers 10-16-76 as they kick it back into play. Risky kick short. Bianco had a bit of work to do. Looping handball backwards. Williams got punched out of his hands by Hurst. Fed the handball off. They'll work it into the hands of Vassis. His kick inside 50 didn't hit the target. Figamali again involved. Flicks it backwards to Hurst. Rangers just trying to work it clear. Woodward gets it back to Mellis. High kick. Pack flies. No one could bring it in. May followed the ball. Put the handball out to Bianco, who's under all sorts of pressure and put into the turf. And the umpire says a free kick will go his way. So he checks to see.
Might be a slight sling.
Looking very groggy, the captain, Trent Bianco, co-captain of the Oakleigh Chargers. Really struggling. It's not a good sign.
Had a pretty good game overall as well, Bianco, with disposals up to 18.
And he's in
19.
the hands of the trainers as we speak. Does get to his feet, but he's not in a good way. Trent Bianco.
His knees are a bit wobbly here, so they might have to get the stretcher.
10-16-76, the Oakleigh Chargers leading the Eastern Rangers 5-5-35. As we're going to have a pause in play.
Now the clock won't stop, Matthew. 25 minutes straight.
Straight quarters. We'll go around the grounds while we have this pause in play and heading out to Rams Arena. It's a 1-point ball game. Gippsland Power 9-4-58, leading the Murray Bushrangers 8-9-57. Bendigo Pioneers still lead by 36 points down in Colac. And the final game to get us underway in round one, Northern Knights and Western Jets kicks off in about an hour's time. And also have a look at round 3 of the NAB League girls competition, with all games now complete. Cannons won by 23 points over the Sandringham Dragons. Stingrays defeated the Rebels by 37. Knights make it 2 wins, 1 draw after defeating the Western Jets by 25 points. Bushrangers defeating the Gippsland Power by 27 points.
They correct scores. There's some low scores there.
But this is the girls,
Oh,
NAB League
okay.
girls competition.
Yep.
Eastern Rangers defeated the Oakleigh Chargers by 6 points, and the Falcons make it 3 from 3, defeating the Pioneers by 49. That's round 3 of the NAB League girls. Replays of all of those matches will be available through the NAB League app. So download that via the App Store or Google Play, depending on what device that you have. And a reminder that during the week we'll see the Open Universities Australia Plays of the Week, combined highlights from across the weekend of the NAB League boys and girls competition. Open Universities Australia. Kickstart your education goals by visiting open.edu.au.
Now, Trent Bianco getting walked off the ground now is a good sign. He's needing help, but definitely a bit groggy after that tackle. So, being one of the main contributors for Oakleigh today.
And we'll get Siobhan to keep an eye on Trent as he makes his way from the ground as well. It is good to see that he was able to walk off the ground, albeit assisted. Good leadership qualities at the Chargers. And the ball is now in the hands of Joseph Aiton Delaney as play gets back underway, Rick.
And they'll boot it long. Down towards the commentary side. Oh, nice body work there by Figa Marley. Takes the mark. Pump it forward, but he's found an Oakleigh player just in the hole there, and that was a nice work by Will Phillips. They'll play on straight away through Dempsey. Gets it further afield. It's a 2-on-1 here. Easton in the van, but out of bounds it goes. So we're at centre wing. Breeze picking up now. Good work at the front of the pack. Oakleigh getting back and found the way retreating there a little bit. We're about 60 metres out from the eastern goal. Who haven't had a lot on the scoreboard in the last couple of quarters, have they?
No, they
Started so well early in the piece. It scored an extra 10 points in the second half. Now they've got a chance and they deliver it down towards the 50. They've got numbers and 2 against 1 here. And, oh, great work. We'll just spot that player there in a moment. Off the ground, did it so well to Noah Anderson. Spins around in the middle of the ground, gets it down to inside 50 on the burst. We've got Johnson there. They get it around and we'll have a shot on goal. And Hannon Mundy with the big screw around the corner. Beautiful work by the big fella. Puts it through for another one. And that was definitely one of the Open University's plays of the week. And well finished there by Hannon Mundy to put it on the board. 82 plays 35. We've got 6 minutes left in this final quarter of this second game broadcast.
shown a bit today, hasn't he, Mundy? He's been involved quite a few times. Scored 2 behinds in addition to that goal. And certainly provided a marking option up forward for the Oakleigh Chargers. As we reset back in the middle. Ryan won it down. Williams hoping kick inside 50. Noah Anderson chasing after it up against the boundary line. Did he keep it in? No, he doesn't. We'll get a boundary throw in. Make sure you keep connected to NAB League across social media at NAB League on Twitter, Instagram and through Facebook. And if you want to talk about the boys competition, use the hashtag NAB League Boys throughout the season as you keep an eye on the draft prospects. This new era of under-18 football. There's Oakleigh, fumble it. Robertson that was. Rangers just unable to hold it in, and they go long here, Oakleigh. It hits up Samuel Tucker. His kick smothered. We'll get another chance at it. It was a little better from him. Working it clear there. Schreiber goes high. He was searching for Graham, but it was just out of his hands. It's stayed in play. The Eastern Rangers clear it, but out on the full, the kick goes. Charges. It was a right decision, just poor execution. Anderson now caught, and we'll get a ball up. Just inside attacking 50. Thanks once again to the NAB League partners for their support. NAB, naming rights and principal partner of the NAB League competition. Open Universities Australia, our education partner. Telstra, our digital partner. Puma, looking after all the apparel across the competition in 2019. Rookie Me, looking after testing. And the Bar Counter, official nutrition partner of the NAB League Boys competition.
And just touching on Brett Allison's talk earlier on Luke Stapleton, he's got his eye out for Vic Metro duties, 15 handballs and 8 tackles. So you'd be happy with that sort of result. 8 tackles, clearly the most tackles on the ground, averaging 2 per quarter. And the highest marker on the ground at the moment with 6 is Noah Dempsey, who's done a good job in a variety of positions there for Oakleigh.
So ball up, deep inside 50 for the Chargers. Gilby, he's been impressive today for the Rangers, just efficiency has let him down. Nathan Delaney's tackled into the turf. The umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball him up. The big man applies the tackle over the top there.
That is an interesting stat from Luke Stapleton. He's had 2 kicks and 15 handballs in his 17 possession.
Modern football. As Phillips, just out of his grasp, Schreiber tracking backwards, has support. And they'll eventually get it back into the hands of Phillips. Goes over the top. And Rowell's put it through for his first of the day. Matty Rowell will be a name on the lips of many across the 2019 NAB League season. Best of field in the 2018 Grand Final. And that was in a losing side, Oakleigh going down to the Dandenong Stingrays. He was also 3rd in the club best and fairest. And as we heard Brett describe before, he's extremely professional and has a great work ethic. He's played 15 games. This will be game number 16 for him. Averages around 18 touches a game, Matty Rowell.
Here's a chance for Easton as they dribble it inside 50. They'll work it out of there, and we'll have a shot towards the goal square, and they're in the van here. And a nice take by, is that Gall? Well, yeah, it is.
Yep, Lachlan Gall.
So he will kick from 20 metres out directly in front. Read the play better than most in that one. So he will take a shot on goal, and Easton... That one seems clear enough, all good. Nice little goal there. They haven't scored one for quite a while, Eastern, so that was a good touch on the game. Coming into the final few seconds of this game.
And nice to get a little confidence as well. After what was a good start from the Eastern Rangers, brought plenty of intensity in the opening term. It just faded out of the game, and the Chargers not completely dominant. They've done what they always do. They work their way into the game. They stick to their structures. As Aiton Delaney takes it out of the middle. Ball off target. Dribbles over the boundary line and out of play.
He's had a great game, 26 disposals. Noah Anderson, 28 with the 5 goals as well. 4 goals, sorry.
And we must have had a bit of time on too, looking at the clock. We've gone nearly a minute over the 25-minute mark,
Okay.
so little change
Might have been that stoppage we had.
with Trent Bianco, who no doubt will be assessed during the week. Very groggy coming from the ground. Hope all is okay. He was able to walk off the ground.
Yep.
It's a positive result there, but very, very groggy. Get a boundary throw in. Out of wing. Tapped down by Smith for the Rangers. They might get another chance here. Oakleigh. It was a good fist and follow-up from Guinea off half-back. Rangers through goal. He might get his second in a matter of minutes. Just out of the grasp. I think it's all clear. 2 in a row to Lachlan Gall, finishing the game strongly for the Eastern Rangers.
Yeah, he did tend to chip at that a little, and it cleared the pack. So good finish there to the game by Gall with 2 in the last couple of minutes. Now we've got a hobbler there, and that's Gall himself. Don't know what he's done to his calf. Let's hope it's just a bit of a cramp. But he's got a hobble off.
Just waiting for him now to clear the field of play.
Something happened in that kick.
Didn't impact it too much though when it
No.
sailed through. 41 points is a respectable margin too for the Eastern Rangers.
Well, we thought Oakleigh were favourites going into this game. And that's the final score. You got the final score there, Matt?
Oakleigh 12-16-88, defeating the Eastern Rangers 7-5-47. Strong performance from Oakleigh.
Yeah, it took a while for them to find their feet in that first half, but there were signs going into the break that they were starting to get on top. So they've really delivered in that second half, and they've got some really good talent out there on the park, especially around the footy, around the ball, and players like Anderson that can go forward as well. So they've got a good season ahead of them. Oakleigh Chargers, I'd imagine. Eastern will review that game and see where they need to pick up. But there were some good signs early for Eastern. I was quite impressed early with them. Just got to try and get that consistency throughout the 4 quarters.
Charlie Oglethorpe and Noah Dempsey taking 2 marks apiece in that final term for the Oakleigh Chargers. Noah Dempsey, you mentioned before, Rick, he was everywhere on the ground at stages.
Yeah, and I think those 4 goals came in the first half. And yeah, he was just a terrific player, showed his class, just looked a clear standout. I liked Aiton Delaney's game also, and Lachlan Stapleton as well. Another special mention, I thought Caden Schreiber did a good job along the way as well.
It was consistent right throughout the match. Lucky Gall there, top of the match points, kicking those last 2 goals of the match for the Eastern Rangers. Anderson, the best for the Oakleigh Chargers, racking up 26 points across the day with his 4 goals and 2 behinds. So just standing by as Oakleigh and Eastern make their way off the ground. Brilliant way of opening up NAB League for 2019. As we'll head down boundary side now to Siobhan Rowe.
I'm here with Noah Anderson from the Oakleigh Chargers. That was a dominant team performance and a really good game from yourself as well, with 4 goals, 2 and 28 disposals. Can you talk us through your role today?
I just played a bit of inside mid to start, and then switched with D-Will up forward, so let Dill have a little go on the unball, which was pretty good to see.
You've got a really strong midfield core with the likes of Matt Rowell and Dylan Williams. What's it like playing with those guys in the middle?
Yeah, it's unreal. Makes me look a bit better when they're getting the ball all the time. Can run more attacking because I know they're going to back them in to get it, so it's really good. And yeah, they're unreal players. Yeah.
And obviously Oakleigh making the grand final last year. What were the team goals at the start of the year? What did you all collectively want to work on in this season?
Yeah, we just really tried to bond as a unit, and if we play for each other, then we know we're going to become better players ourselves. So just trying to focus on that like playing well as individuals and then helping your team out, and we'll all play better as that. And then success comes on the top of that. So yeah.
Beautiful. Well done on your game and good luck for the rest of the year.
Siobhan Rowe as the boys give Noah Anderson. They get around him down there. Great game from him today. Definitely one of the best for the Oakleigh Chargers in their victory today here at RSEA Park. Final score once again 12-16-88. The Oakleigh Chargers defeating the Eastern Rangers 7-5-47. Got our quick recap of the goal kickers there, Rick.
Well, Noah Anderson with the 4. We had singles, I believe, for the rest of them. Rowell, Oglethorpe, Graham, Williams, May, Dempsey and Mundy. And for the Eastern Rangers, Gore got 2 in the last couple of minutes. Stapleton, Rossiter, Garner, McCormack and Tilley.
So that just about wraps things up here from RSEA Park. The opening round of the NAB League competition. Victors today, the Oakleigh Chargers and Sandringham Dragons in the double header. A reminder to download the NAB League app via the App Store or Google Play for all the stats from the weekend's matches if you want to watch the replays, and also keep an eye out for the highlights. The Open Universities Australia Plays of the Week. Kickstart your education goals by visiting open.edu.au. They'll be available through the app and no doubt across the social media channels as well. NAB League on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag NABLeagueBoys. On behalf of Siobhan Rowe, Rick Morris and the entire crew here at RSEA Park, I'm Matthew Cox. Thank you very much for your company, and we'll see you again soon here on NAB League coverage.